Hi, it's Emily with Cozy Clicks, and I'm going to show you how to use an action in Photoshop. Today, I'm going to be showing you a recipe from the new Cozy Clicks Color Confection Set, which is an action set for color enhancing and making those photos of yours really pop. So I'm going to show you a recipe today on this photo right here. Now, I have loaded this in from ACR. I've made some minor adjustments to the white balance and exposure, but the main part of the color correction is going to come from these actions right here. And if you've already loaded them in, you should have them under your Actions tab, and you'll see 10 different color enhancing actions, and the toppings are at the bottom. And when you run that action, you will get 5 different filters to add some extra cool effect. So let's get started on this one. For this particular photo, I really want to enhance the background, this greenish yellow, and these purpley red colors throughout the background too. I want to make those really pop out. So the first action I'm going to use is raspberry cheesecake, which is a combination of enhancing the yellows and reds in the photo. So I'm going to click on raspberry cheesecake and hit play. And you'll see that it instantly creates a color pop in the yellows and reds. So you can see there it is off and on. The cool thing about these actions is they're very customizable. So if you open up each action, you'll see some different choices that you can make. So if you don't really like the extra berries or the extra red, you could turn that off. If you don't want any of the red, you could turn it completely off. And you see when I take off the berries and the extra berries, it really decreases the amount of red, but leaves the yellow and the yellow-green in the photo. For this particular one, I want to keep all of them on, but I don't really like the action across the subject. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to decrease this action. I'm going to click on the layer mask that's included right there. I'm going to make my brush black. I'm going to increase the size of that just a little bit, and I'm just going to brush off all of the actions from my subject. Oops, and I'm going to make sure my opacity of that brush is at 100%. There we go. So you can see if I turn it off and on, it gives me a great color enhancing look of the background. And I just took it off of the subject right there. Okay. The second part of this recipe is to add the blackberry pie. So I'm going to click on that one, click play, and you'll see that that darkens up and makes it a bold, rich color tone throughout the image. Just like the other one and all the other actions in this pack, they're very customizable. You can open it up. I can make it even darker if I want to, but I'm not sure I want to do that for this image. And you can also take off parts of the action. So on this particular action, I don't want to brush off the entire action off of him, but I do want to brush the darker off of his face and his body. So I'm going to click on that part of the action, which is darker. I'm going to make sure the layer mask is selected. Grab my black brush, and I'm going to brush that darker part off of just him. Okay. I'm liking the way that looks a little better. His face is still a little too dark, so I might go back up to the main action. I'm going to decrease that again. Make sure the layer mask is clicked on blackberry pie, and this time I'm just going to erase the action off of just his face and give him a little bit more brightness, but still keep it in that jacket and the background of the picture. So far we have raspberry cheesecake, blackberry pie, and now I'm going to run my toppings. Click on toppings, and when you run it, you'll notice that nothing changes. Okay. You have to turn your toppings on, and when you turn them on, you'll notice that still nothing changes. And when you open them up, you'll find that there's 5 different filters that when you select them will create a creative look to your photo. So you see if I turn on whipped cream, it looks, it gives it a certain effect. If I choose sprinkles, that gives it a certain effect. For this particular recipe, I'm going to be choosing caramel. So I'm going to click on right there. Very customizable again. I like the caramel, but I don't like it this intense. So I'm going to go up to my opacity, and I'm going to decrease it down a little bit more. I'm going to put it at maybe 8%. And I'm going to brush it off of the subject because I just want it to enhance the color of that background. And then I'm going to close it up. So for this recipe and how to use these actions, I used raspberry cheesecake, blackberry pie, and I used caramel as my toppings. And you can see if I click back here, there is my before and there is my after using those 3 recipes. Thanks for watching. If you liked this, please subscribe to my channel. I'll be going through all kinds of different Photoshop tutorials here. And if you'd like to purchase this action set, there is a link right below. Thanks again.